Incremental routines. That's an update about the deck conversion from the advanced English collection from Supermemo to Anki. What I realized is that I was looking at the data of the fishy repetitions, and what I have found is that usually is first I leech and then any other repetition count there are. So what happened, I think, is that then all consequent repetitions were counted as leads, as lapses as well. So what I did, I identified some examples, and therefore now in Anki I have amended this instead of re-importing again, because I did the find and replace of the emoji, and I don't want to do that again. So instead of creating the Anki deck, I just manipulated the database and I just ran this. As simple as that. That was the issue. I had about 9,000 repetitions from 9,000 different cards that had only one single rep that had this. It's again the hardest button. The interval was a day. The last interval was a day convention because in Supermemo this could not be done. Then the factor is 100% because it's 1 divided by 1. And the type, that in Anki means that if it's new, if it's learning, review, and whatever. So identify this, and I run this query. So now you know this is still the same. The is there of those items that are fishy, but not anymore to recall. Now if you see, it's still 88, almost, it's still 49% at 3 p.m. It's low, but everything else is high, as I was expecting, about 95 and so on. But if I go just this year, this disappears. Everything is high. Why? Because everything that is super low is at the beginning of the collection, as you can see. Those one. Badababoom and badababoom. So I made one convention. I only changed the is. So instead of, again, number 1, it's hard, number 2. That's why now the answer buttons here, the 2, it's massively high, and here as well. And another convention is that I didn't change the type. So I still want them to be counted as review, as learning, sorry. So I will know, convention-wise, that those cards were not genuinely rapid. I set the huge interval, and then I will do the next rep. Because I have done those repetitions in a different collection. A pity I didn't did that, because what I could do before deleting is exporting the exporting repetitions, and therefore I will have here the genuine repetitions I did instead of 2 or 3 bulk cell remembers. Well, not a big deal, but it would have been a nice touch to have, right? It's distorting the grabs, and some of the data is not meaningful because I just kept the learning process for the first repetitions. So now this data is a lot more accurate than the real deal, but I know that the real deal now it's this one. And the lowest performance, slightly less, 87%, it's at 6 a.m. Those hours at first. Look at the repetition count. 100, 900, so they're very low counts. It's because that day I was awake and I was doing Supermemo. So nothing to worry about performance. As I 99, 97, 93, awesome. And here about matures. So when the interval is 21 days in Anki, but you know that in Supermemo, most of my repetitions, the first interval, will be using when I was using Tapending Queue. So excluding those cards done in bulk, set remote in bulk, everything else that was coming from the pending queue was using the optimum interval. And that means that the very first repetition will be already considered as mature card. and slightly even more with a margin, even if I just did one single rep. And since I didn't create the item myself because it comes from pre-done material, I just seen this once without making them, so I don't have the memory of making the card myself. And even still, it will go to the mature state right away. So imagine the huge difference. Awesome. And just today, the milestone of 500 days. Awesome. It's been 50 days of hiatus because of doing all of this. So now I really think I will be using Anki for some I don't know, period of time as one standalone collection. I will merge this with any of my profiles and see what happens. I will be able to check the. Perhaps it is the idea, and I will be using Anki for the advanced English collection from now on. I don't know. Hope this has been useful for you. Let me know your thoughts, and if you experiment as well, feel free to ask any related question if you want to convert Supermemo to Anki, whatever. Links in the description. See you next time.